Okay, let's look at this question together. So the first one, I can see that I can turn it to a single log. And then on the other side, it's just a constant. So let's apply the multiplication rule of the log. So log, because they're both base e, so I can say, combine them, x times 3x plus 1 is equal to 1. So remember, you have this rule, log x base a plus log y base a, if they're the same base, and when you add, is basically log xy base a. Okay, that's the rule that I'm applying. Now it's a single log, so I can see that's the number, it's the numeral, and that's e is a base and 1 is a logarithm. So if you apply the love rule, e to the power 1 is equal to, so I'm going to expand 3x squared plus x equal to e. Let's write a bit smaller because of my space. So 3x squared plus x equal to e to the power 1, which is just e. So I can see here is a quadratic equations where the constant term is negative e, the coefficient of x is 1, and the coefficient of x squared, which is the leading coefficient, is 3. Now, how am I going to solve this equation without CAS calculator? And the key to this is using quadratic formula. Okay, so I'm going to use quadratic formula to find x. So x equal to negative b minus negative b, which is a coefficient for x, which is 1. Okay, there's a hidden 1 here that way, which we normally don't write 1, just write x. So minus b plus minus b squared, which is 1, minus 4 times a, which is 3, times c, which is negative e, over 2 times a, which is 2 times 3, which is 6. So therefore, we got x equal to negative 1 plus minus 1 plus 12e. Negative 4 times 3 times minus e is 12e here, divided by 6. Now, be careful. Can we have a negative log? So let's go back to our equations. And you could see here on your left-hand side, the domain for log x is x has to be positive. You can't have x of negative numbers. And the domain for log 3x plus 1 on e, you got to set that positive. So the domain for this sum of these two functions, remember we learned about sum of the functions, is the intersections of these two domains. So one of them is negative 1/3. This one, x has to be bigger than negative 1/3, and that x has to be bigger than 0. So the intersection between these two domains is x positive, which is x bigger than 0. So therefore, x is equal to negative 1 plus 1 plus 12e over 6. Got to reject that negative number. So make sure that you always go back to the equations and double check that domain. All right, let's look at part B. So here, I don't know how many of you actually can see is a hidden quadratic. When you see something like this, think of it at 8. So write as a positive index, so it's divided by e to the power x minus e to the power x equal to 2. All right. Now, how am I going to get rid of the denominator? I'm going to multiply both sides by e to the power x and e to the power x here. So expand, which give me 8, because e to the power x will cancel e to the power x of the denominator, minus ex squared is equal to 2ex. So again, it's a quadratic, so I'm going to bring negative e to that side. So ex squared plus 2ex, because that stay, I'm basically bringing that to the side, okay, is minus 8 equal to 0. Okay, now it's a quadratic here in e to the power x. So I'm going to let y equal to e to the power x. So therefore, I got y squared plus 2y minus 8 equal to 0. And then factorize. It's a monic quadratic. So I'm thinking of 4 times negative 2 will give me negative 8. Add the two number, give me 2. So there, add 4 and negative 2 is 2. That's correct. So therefore, we got y equal to negative 4 or y equal to 2. Now, hang on. We can't stop here. We're not interested in y. We want to find x. So e to the power x equal to negative 4 or e to the power x equal to 2. We've got to reject that because e to the power x is a positive number. It cannot be equal to negative 4. Even if you go further than that, you say, well, log negative 4 on e, that doesn't work. Okay, so you got to reject that. So we got x equal to log 2 base e. Just be very careful the way you write log 2 base e. Make sure that this e, okay, is a subscript like log small e here, 2. Better still, just put ln 2. Okay, all right. Part C. I can see that I can write as log on both sides. So I'm going to put this back as power. So I'm going to have x squared minus 2x plus 8 equal to x squared. Put it back as a power. So now I can cancel both sides, has got x squared. So which give you negative 2x plus 8 equal to 0, which give us 2x equal to 8, and therefore x equal to 4. All right, D. Solve for x in terms of y. That means that I want to make x a subject. Again, I can see they're all same base, and I can apply the law, one of the law. So firstly, I'm going to turn everything to just log, but just put the power back as a power. Okay, so this one will be just log x to the power half base 4. This one will be just log y to the power 3 base 4. And that one is just log 3 base 4. They all have the same base. And now I can apply the division rule. Square x minus mean divide is equal to log 4, 3. So again, remember this rule, log a base, okay, let me use x and y rather than a. So remember, we're applying this rule, log x base a minus log y base a. I can write as log x divided by y base a. Okay. All right, so therefore they all have both side is the same log with the same base. So therefore I can say that this number is equal to that number. So which gives us square root x on y cubed is equal to 3, and square x is equal to 3y cubed. Square both sides, which give me x on this side, and then square of 3 is 9. Square of this is y to the power 6. Now this is what exactly what happened is I square both sides. This. Just be careful. Don't put y to the power 9. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 squared is 9. So that is x in terms of y. I think that's all. Hopefully you understand what's going on.